My girlfriend told me her bestie was just a childhood friend, so I was cool with their sleepovers and family trips, but turns out he's actually her high school ex who convinced her to hide their past because he's still obsessed with her, and now I'm single. Posted by you/3 yearsly. I'll try to keep it short. I, 23M, met Nicole, 21F, 3 years ago around my second year of college. I'm from out of the state. I received a full scholarship to the university that we're currently at, so I didn't have any friends at the time. She was nice and took interest in me pretty quickly, and we started dating. She's told me from the beginning that she had been best friends with this guy Adam, 21M, since they were little, and they were very close, and their families were close. Which I was fine with at the time. I'm not really a jealous person and I'm pretty laid back. Adam seemed like a nice guy, and I thought, who am I to really tell her who she can and can't be friends with? Anyways, they have been close even through the relationship. They go on trips together with their families, they study together, have a few classes together, dinner and lunch, etc., and they have even stayed the night at each other's apartments. It was weird at first, but I trusted her as well as him, and honestly she always told me ahead of time, so I felt like it was fine, not ideal. It never really affected our relationship. We spent time together, had a great connection and all that good stuff. Nicole and Adam left on Sunday. They finished finals early or something like that, to head down to their family's beach house like 4 hours away from campus. They did invite me, but I have some finals left, and then I have summer courses starting nearly immediately after my finals, so I declined so that I could prep for my final 2 courses before I graduate. I met up in the library with one of her friends in my web design class to put some finishing touches on our final project. We get on the topic of relationships, and she was telling me about how when she started dating her current boyfriend she made him cut all contact with his ex-girlfriend even though she wanted to remain close with him. She asked me why I didn't do the same, and I was confused. I didn't understand what she meant, and then she explained and showed me proof that Nicole and Adam dated throughout high school. They also went to prom together. I was pretty lost as to what to do or how to feel. I found out yesterday, and all I could think was that Adam could potentially be intimate with my girlfriend at this very moment. I trusted her, but I mean, I've never seen exes hang out and be as buddy-buddy as them without hooking up before. As dense as it sounds, I almost can't wrap my head around their level of closeness and not doing it. I talked to my older sister, and she told me I had to calm down and that maybe there was a reason for why they never said anything. She said if I trusted Nicole before knowing, she didn't see why I would suddenly accuse her otherwise, even if her best friend is her ex. But I feel like that logic is so flawed because my entire foundation of trust for this relationship stemmed from the fact that Adam was her childhood best friend, not her ex. Honestly, if she would have told me before we started dating, I think I probably would have walked away from the relationship. She's a great and nice girl, but getting with someone who is still so heavily involved with their ex is a roller coaster I don't think I would never willingly sign up for. Am I thinking about this the wrong way? Is it crazy that I'm already considering ending the relationship off this whether she cheated or not? I haven't brought it up to her yet. I want to talk in person rather than on the phone. I'm going to hide the fact that I know until she comes back to campus on Friday to spend my birthday weekend with me, but I don't see any logical explanation that will keep me committed. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, the lying is problematic. I made a comment already detailing what I think the lying was done for. But the lying is the crux of the issue. Your trust is shattered, and if you put yourself up against Adam, I am positive she will choose Adam over you every single time. That is the real crux now. Before you thought that you would be a bigger priority than him. It never had to be that way because of the history as you understood it. Now that you know the truth, it will either be something you get over after hearing her reasons, which I detailed in another comment, I would bet money on it, or you push and she chooses Adam over you. Lastly, you could try to get over it and just not be able to. I would personally find it very hard to be okay with their friendship after this lie. Ops response, the lying is what really makes me just want to leave altogether, not only her lying but his lying as well as their families. I've met all of them, and none of them have ever said a word about it, though maybe their families don't know. Emotionally invested or not, I'd never be up for having her pick between Adam or myself. I'm not that type of person. And those ultimatums in my opinion never result in anything but more issues. Also, they do have a lot of history, families are connected. I feel like I'm the one in the wrong for even stepping into her life. I've been thinking about this too much, although I should be studying instead, but I feel like it's either she's loyal and faithful but knew I wouldn't have even began a relationship with her in the first place, or she's hooking up occasionally or something of the sort of a friends with benefits. Either way I see it as wrong. If she's loyal, which honestly I think might be the case, then it's wrong of her to omit information and manipulate my choice to begin dating her on the first place. If I had any skeletons in my closet, I would be open and clear about it before I engaged in a relationship with someone, letting them make a clear and honest decision about if it was a deal breaker or not. As for getting over it, I don't think I can, or even if I can, I feel like it's almost not worth the effort. I feel like it's going to mess with the dynamic of our relationship, and then I have to deal with her feeling guilty or always having to check in with me or sending Adam to talk to me or any of the other stuff that I don't even want to have to deal with. I'm probably saying this out of convenience, but once I finish this summer semester I'll be finished. I could have a clean break and move back home with my parents for a few months and be on with my life. Op replying to a downvoted commenter about giving a second chance and Op replying that his agency was taken away. Commenter 2, would you want to confess to someone you just started dating that your best friend was once your boyfriend? The issues of timing and not wanting to scare people off alone could make someone keep mum, and then by the time you get confident enough in the relationship to not worry about them bolting. Ops response: I don't think this is up to you to decide, especially when there were many opportunities during the talking and dating period before we became official. Fooling and tricking someone into thinking otherwise doesn't help the cause, whether it be a blatant lie or omission of details. If I wanted to bolt after finding out her current best friend was her ex of 4 years, then that's a decision I should get to make for myself. The fact that she didn't give me the choice, as well as the fact that I had to find out from a friend and not her, just makes this look even worse. Commenter 2: I don't know why you claim to trust this girl and yet are so quick to drop her and pronounce everything a lie without even considering that there might be a reason other than her wanting to be intimate with her bestie for keeping it from you. Ops response: I trust the girl, but this isn't something so small that I can forgive with the snap of a finger. Whether she is cheating or if she's loyal, which honestly I think might be the case, either way I see it as wrong. It's wrong of her to omit relevant information about herself and manipulate my choice and perception of her just to ensure I begin dating her on the first place. Even if her reasoning is because she thought I would leave or wouldn't give her a chance, while it's understandable in my eyes, doesn't make it okay. Update: 3 days later. Nicole showed up Thursday night after my exams to early surprise me for my birthday weekend. We kind of hung out and talked, and I tried my best just to be normal with her. When I asked her about Adam, she was extremely reluctant and borderline defensive to even talk about it. You never brought it up before, why do you want to know about it now? When she realizes I'm not dropping it, she pretty much breaks down and tells me everything. Adam was the one who convinced her not to tell me about their past relationship. The last few guys she tried to talk to were scared off by her being best friends with her ex, and he didn't want me to leave in the same way. It was only supposed to be for a little while, she didn't plan on staying that close to Adam while being in a relationship. Adam's dad was in the process of getting a promotion when Nicole and I started dating, which would move him and his family to the Midwest, but the promotion fell through. She said Adam became more direct once he found out he wasn't leaving, constantly insisting that she hang out with him without me. Even to the point where she would be canceling plans with me. For most people I'm sure that would have been a red flag when your girlfriend canceled on you periodically, but I've been taking 6 to 7 course semesters for the past 2 years in attempts to graduate early and get the most out of scholarship. If I wasn't studying or with Nicole, I always had a million other things I could be catching up on or doing. She blamed me for not setting boundaries or being more strict with her, that eventually she became comfortable with her freedom with him. Adam still has really strong feelings for her, though she said she didn't feel the same way about him. She admitted that Adam over time grew to resent me and became very jealous of our relationship and how effortlessly happy I made her feel. She tells me she never cheated me on despite Adam's advances and flirtation. At this point she is crying and emotional and extremely desperate. She begs for forgiveness and says that she'll cut all ties from Adam, and she won't ever talk to him again or hang out with him anymore. That I'm the only person she wants to spend her life with, and a bunch of other ridiculousness I could hardly even listen to. I was angry and probably didn't say it the way I should have, but I told her it was the perpetual lying and deceitfulness which had me so angry, and that was the reason I was breaking up with her. That's pretty much how it ended, with me telling her she could leave. Adam sent some hateful text to me which I ignored. Yesterday night I was pretty much an emotional wreck. I felt ashamed and angry at myself for even crying over someone so stupid. But I woke up this morning and I didn't feel nearly as bad as I thought. Spoke to my best friend about it and he really helped me put it into perspective. I'm going home tonight for my birthday weekend, and then I'll just focus on finishing school and finding a job. It was Adam's idea from the start to hide it all from me. Adam still has strong feelings for her, and when alone would flirt with her. He always secretly resented me for dating Nicole and our happiness. I don't know if she actually physically cheated on me, but last time they did anything intimate was the day before we started dating. I'm glad it's over and even more glad I don't live in this state. Thanks for the advice. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, she blamed you for not setting boundaries for her behavior with him when she was the only one to know of his one-sided feelings, jealousy, resentment? Wow. Best of luck with graduation and happy birthday. Ops response, thanks. I think the one moment looking back on this that got me the most riled up was last year I went back home for winter break and went out to the movies with my best friend, his girlfriend and his girlfriend's best friend who was my ex from high school. I told her about it ahead of time, told her exactly what we'd be doing, that the 4 of us were going to see a movie and get some dinner. And she completely blew it out of proportion and made me feel so guilty about going to see a movie with some friends. I don't think I've ever shown that kind of anger in my life. Commenter 2, so there is no time frame on when Adam found out he wasn't leaving. It could have been way more recently. You have no idea how she rebuked his advances or what their conversations were like. She could have rebuked him several times and didn't want to bring it up with her boyfriend because it would just be unnecessary drama in her life since she no longer sees Adam in that way. Where I can see being upset, breaking up with her over it just seems extreme, especially when she 1, comes clean 2, admits she was wrong and 3, is willing to fix it. Do people not get second chances anymore? Is that just not a thing that is done? Ops response, when I first found out about her and her best friend being exes from high school, I was ready to end it immediately with her. I was upset that I got lied to and even more angry that I had to hear it from a friend and not even her. I took some time and really thought about it, and before I spoke with her last night I was fully willing to forgive her if her reasoning was to avoid drama or something of the sort. I do believe at second chances, but trust is something that is hard to win back. But, Adam found out 6 months into my relationship with her that his dad wasn't getting promoted and moving on. That's basically 2.5 years for Nicole to take responsibility and separate herself from him, especially if he likes her. Whether she felt the same way or not, in my eyes it's so wrong to keep hanging out and sleeping over with someone who has such strong feelings for you when you have a significant other. 1. Comes clean. She comes clean only after I confronted her about it. Her original plan was just to never tell me. After the year mark she told me that she realized she was too deep and it was the only way. 2. Admits she was wrong. She blamed me for everything. It's my fault for not setting up boundaries and having too much trust in my significant other in her decision-making skills and assessing what is and isn't appropriate. 3. Is willing to fix it. Not until she knows I'm 100% done with the relationship does this even become an option. She tried to blame me for the entire thing and make me feel guilty as if her hiding this information and me not playing detective and finding out is my fault. Even if I was willing to forgive her and try again, our relationship dynamic is ruined. I don't want to be the controlling boyfriend and I can't be with someone who I don't trust. Vital info from Op. The thing about it is that I really liked her as well. I wanted to make it work more than anything in the world, I really did. It's something that I couldn't really convey in my post is that I always saw this girl as like my escape away from everything. I've been in study mode since I was 18, and I haven't really had much time for the simple things in life like hanging out with a girlfriend or going out to parties or anything like that. I didn't want a relationship at first because I didn't think I would have the time or be able to time manage properly. When I was busy, I always encouraged her to have fun with her other friends. There was a mutual trust there, especially with Adam. It was rough at first, but eventually she convinced me nothing would happen between them and that he was just a childhood friend. But, I made it explicitly clear way back when we started dating, she had concerns about her freedom and being able to do as she wanted, and she wanted to know why I trusted her so much, since her other boyfriends didn't, and gave her so much space, and I told her that I had no reason not to trust her. She's my girlfriend after all. All I ask is that you tell me the truth, even if it'll hurt my feelings or get me upset. I realize my school schedule isn't ideal, but I think we can work through just about anything. I strongly disagree with the statement that people don't owe their significant other their entire dating history, including people you know in common. If you guys have mutual friends, that's when disclosing pasts are the most important. Especially when you don't disclose your past with someone because you know it'll alter decisions and other aspects of your relationship. That's not cool, on a bunch of levels. Omitting to tell someone about a neighbor who you slept with 3 years ago isn't the same as keeping an ex under your significant other's nose. Maybe if her and Adam saw each other occasionally, or weekly or monthly, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but when you hang out with someone pretty much 4 to 5 times a week, it becomes a problem. You owe it to your significant other to tell them about people you interact with often. Maybe you're different than me and have yourself and your relationship with your significant other all figured out, but that's a really big deal in my book. I could no longer trust what happened during our relationship. I didn't know what was truth and what was a lie. However, I spoke with her today actually. She came to visit me at my apartment unannounced, and though we are broken up, she felt the need to tell me more about it. She apologized how she acted, letting her disappointment, shamefulness and guilt get the better of her. She apologized for Adam's text message and some other things she did. But, she did in fact cheat on me. It happened 2 different occasions throughout different parts of our relationship, every occasion mixed with alcohol and them being alone for the night. All initiated by Adam. They also have kissed, or as she told me, Adam would kiss her frequently on the lips, taking advantage of her. So, based off that alone, I'm 2000% done. I had my doubts, maybe she really did just lie about them being exes, but when she confirmed that she cheated, that's when I knew I made the right decision to move on. As for whether it had been a roller coaster and if it affected the relationship in any way before I found out, all I can say is that ignorance is bliss. Looking back on it now, I can vividly see periods that would have made me question everything, freedoms and things that I was okay with, I would have freaked over. Letting her sleep at his house was a big deal. Having to split my limited free time up with him was a huge issue for me. Despite the cheating and lying, I do care for her, but I can never be with her again. She either has to date Adam or get away from him, but that's not something I can be a part of right now. Like I told someone else, before I leave back to my hometown for good, maybe I'll sit down with her and give her a new perspective on things, but right now she can learn on her own.